Hey everyone, I'm Hannah. I say, juggling the chaos of my day. Mommy, look at my drawing. Zoey beams, holding up her latest masterpiece. I glance up from my laptop, where I'm putting the finishing touches on a client's design proposal. At 32, being a single mom to an 8-year-old while running my own interior design business is a constant balancing act, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. That's beautiful, sweetie. Why don't we show it to great-grandpa Jackson when we visit him today? Her smile falters. Will Kevin be there? I don't know, honey, I reply gently, but if he is, stay close to me, hoy. Later, at my grandfather's sprawling estate, memories flood back, especially of the day he handed me the check that launched my business. He always believed in me even when no one else did. Hannah, darling, Aunt Sophia's syrupy voice interrupts my thoughts as she emerges from Grandpa's study. I was just helping Daddy with his medication. Her presence makes my skin crawl. I didn't know you'd be here today, Sophia. I'm on here most days now. Someone needs to take care of him properly. My phone buzzes. A text from Sophia. We need to talk. She disappears into the kitchen, announcing, I made your favorite soup, Daddy. Grandpa's voice is a weak whisper. I never asked for soup. Stay for dinner, Hannah. I barely see you anymore. Grandpa says, his tired eyes pleading. Of course, I reply warmly. Zoey, why don't you show great-grandpa your drawing? A loud crash echoes from the hallway. I rush out to find Kevin standing over Zoey, her drawing ripped in half. It was an accident, he smirks. No, it wasn't, I say firmly. You grabbed it, and Zoey doesn't lie. Kevin mutters. Where's your mom? Probably calling another loan company. That's all she ever does. Sophia reappears, all smiles. Kevin, help me in the kitchen. Hannah, can I borrow some money for my car payment? Just a small loan. Like the last 3? I ask, exasperated. Sophia's face darkens. Fine. Daddy always liked you best anyway. She storms off, but not before I catch her rifling through papers on Grandpa's desk. Later, after Zoey is asleep, my sister Sophia calls. Hannah, you won't believe what I found. Aunt Sophia has been writing checks from Grandpa's account and applying for loans in his name. I grip the phone tightly. How much? Enough to raise red flags. But Hannah, be careful. People desperate for money can be dangerous. Looking at Zoe's torn drawing on my desk, I realize this is no longer just about money. It's about protecting what's left of my family. The lawyer's office feels stifling during Grandpa Jackson's will reading. Tension crackles in the air as Mr. Thompson begins. To my beloved granddaughter, Hannah, and great-granddaughter, Zoey, I leave my estate, including the family mansion and the majority of my assets. Additionally, a substantial college fund has been established for Zoey's education. Sophia slams her hand on the desk. I'm his daughter, his actual daughter. Please let me finish, Mr. Thompson interjects. To my daughter Sophia, I leave a monthly allowance of $2,000 contingent upon maintaining steady employment. You manipulated him, Sophia screams, pointing at me. This isn't over. I'll make things right. You'll see. As others leave, Mr. Thompson pulls me aside. Your grandfather suspected someone was stealing from him. We were investigating, but he passed before we could act. Sophia shows me check copies later that night. The forgeries, bearing Sophia's signature, are blatant. Banks flagged them, but it was too late, Sophia says. A crash outside interrupts us. We rush to find Zoe's bike on the ground, its brake lines cleanly cut. That wasn't an accident, Sophia murmurs, examining the damage. The next week, my security alarm blares at 2 a.m. Police find signs of an attempted break-in. Mommy, I'm scared, Zoey whispers, climbing into my bed. Don't worry, baby. I've installed cameras everywhere. No one can hurt us. But Sophia's desperation escalates. She spreads rumors about me to relatives, photoshopped images, and fabricated lies about drinking and shady dealings. At the grocery store, she publicly accuses me of selling drugs. Keep talking, Sophia, I tell her calmly. Keep plotting, keep lying. You're only digging yourself deeper. Is that a threat? She sneers. The truth will do that for me. Later that night, as I review the security footage, I catch Kevin skulking around our yard. The audio picks up his shaky voice on the phone. Mom, I can't do this anymore. Breaking into their house. What if we get caught? I save the footage immediately. Sophia might not care about consequences, but they're coming, whether she's ready or not. Everyone, gather around for cake, I announce, putting the final touches on Zoey's birthday cake. I'll watch the kids by the pool, Sophia offers with that fake smile I've come to dread. Go ahead, finish up. I'll make sure they're safe. Something feels off, but before I can object, the kids are already heading outside. I rush to finish decorating, constantly checking the security monitor in the kitchen. The new camera system gives me a clear view while I work. Kevin, remember what we talked about? Sophia's voice crackles through the monitor. It'll look like an accident, just a little birthday roughhousing. Kevin hesitates, standing behind Zoey near the deep end of the pool. I can't swim very well, Zoey says, her voice trembling. That's the point, you little brat, Sophia hisses. Kevin, do it. Now. But Mom. Do it. I drop the frosting bag and spring outside. On the monitor, I see Kevin shove Zoey. There's a splash and then screams. Other kids yell for help as Sophia blocks the adults. Oh, they're just playing. Kids, am I right? Sophia laughs, waving them off. She can't swim. I scream, running faster. Our groundskeeper, Tom, rushes past me and dives into the pool. Moments later, he surfaces with Zoey, who's choking and terrified. Call 911, Tom shouts, performing CPR as Sophia tries to intervene. She's fine, she's just. Get away from my daughter. I shove her back. Zoey coughs up water, sobbing uncontrollably as the ambulance arrives. At the hospital, Zoey is treated for minor injuries but diagnosed with severe trauma. The police take statements as I show them the security footage. Mrs. Mitchell, Detective Wilson pulls me aside. We've uncovered disturbing information about your aunt. She has a history of similar incidents. What do you mean similar? I ask, ripping the edge of my chair. Violent outbursts, fraud schemes, a pattern of dangerous behavior, and we found evidence of an attempted drowning case from 15 years ago. It was mysteriously dropped. My cousin Rachel bursts into the room. Hannah, I saw the news. I need to tell you something. Remember when my credit was ruined 5 years ago? Someone stole my identity. It was Sophia. I found proof, but she threatened to hurt my kids if I told anyone. I was too scared, but after this, I can't stay silent anymore. Detective Wilson nods grimly. Your aunt's been busy. Multiple instances of identity theft, fraud, and now attempted murder. Kevin has confessed everything. He's willing to testify that Sophia has been plotting this since your grandfather's will reading. I want her arrested. I want restraining orders. I want everything on record, I say, my voice trembling with resolve. We're way past restraining orders, Detective Wilson replies. Attempted murder of a minor, conspiracy, financial fraud across state lines. She's facing serious prison time. Rachel squeezes my hand. I should have spoken up sooner. Maybe this wouldn't have happened. It's not your fault, but it ends here. No more fear. No more silence. Zoey stirs in her hospital bed, whimpering in her sleep. I hold her close, knowing Sophia will never hurt us again. Miss Sophia Mitchell, please rise for sentencing. The courtroom falls silent as the judge's words echo. Sophia stands, her face pale as the evidence is displayed on screens. Forged checks, fraudulent loans, casino debts totaling over $500,000. To the charges of fraud, identity theft, child endangerment, and attempted murder in the first degree, this court finds you guilty. Justice is here, and with it, years of hidden crimes are finally brought to light. As Sophia is led away in handcuffs, I squeeze Zoey's hand. As the evidence flashes on the screens, forged checks, fraudulent loans, casino debts totaling over $500,000, Sophia's guilt becomes undeniable. Your Honor, before sentencing, I'd like to say something. Sophia's ex-husband stands, his voice steady yet emotional. For years, I stayed silent about how she treated Kevin, the manipulation, the emotional abuse, forcing him to participate in her schemes. I won't stay silent anymore. The judge nods, reviewing a report from Child Services. Kevin is now living with his father and receiving the help he needs. Last week, he sent Zoey an apology letter from therapy. The courtroom holds its breath as the judge addresses Sophia. Miss Mitchell, the evidence is overwhelming. Financial crimes against your own father, identity theft targeting family members, and most disturbingly, the premeditated attempt to murder your 8-year-old great-niece. This court sentences you to 15 years in state prison. You ungrateful. Sophia lunges toward me, her face twisted with rage. I should have done worse. You stole everything from me. Officers restrain her and remove her from the courtroom. The judge's gavel falls. 5 years pass like a dream. Zoey, now 13, stands proudly, her swim team medals gleaming under the sun. After months of therapy, she's turned her trauma into triumph. Watch this, Mom, she calls, executing a perfect dive into the same pool where she once nearly lost her life. Her coach beams. She's headed for state championships, he says proudly. The mansion feels different now. We've converted the East Wing into the Jackson Mitchell Foundation for Family Abuse Survivors. Just last week, we helped our 10th family escape a toxic situation. Sophie's appeal was denied again. My sister-in-law mentions during our weekly coffee. The parole board didn't even deliberate after seeing the evidence. Good, I reply. 15 years isn't enough, but it's something. Kevin visits sometimes under his father's supervision. He's in college now, studying psychology. I want to help other kids, he told Zoey last Christmas. Kids with mothers like mine. The foundation hosts monthly support groups. Today, I stand before a room filled with survivors, sharing my story. The hardest part wasn't the attempted murder, I tell them. It was accepting that family can be the most toxic force in your life. But toxicity doesn't have to win. Zoey joins me at the podium, strong and confident. Together, we lead workshops teaching families how to recognize the warning signs we missed. Last month, I share, we prevented another Sophia from destroying another family. Later, as Zoey and I cook dinner, she looks at me with a smile. Remember when I was scared to go near water? Now, I can't imagine life without swimming. You're stronger than she ever was, I say, my voice thick with pride. The security cameras are still up, but they no longer make me anxious. Instead, they're a quiet reminder of how far we've come. The mansion isn't just a house anymore. It's a sanctuary for healing, strength, and survival. My phone buzzes. Another desperate family is reaching out to the foundation. As I read their story, so similar to ours, I feel a deep sense of purpose. Sophia's evil created something beautiful, a chance to help others escape what we endured. Ready for practice, Mom? Zoey appears in her swim team jacket, her eyes bright with determination. Always, baby. Always. Some people say forgiveness heals, but I disagree. Sometimes justice heals better than forgiveness ever could. What would you do if a family member tried to harm your child and steal your future? Would you show mercy if they apologize? Or would you pursue justice like I did? Sometimes the deepest wounds come from those who are supposed to protect us. I chose to turn my pain into purpose by helping other survivors. But everyone's path to healing is different. Share your thoughts in the comments below.